So, there's been a video that specified that there were a certain number of stargates throughout the Stargate franchise, and I disagree with this number that they present. There is the let's lay down a little ground rule here real quick. Everybody accepts the idea, I'm sure, that the Milky Way Gates have uh, lights on one side, and they're usually orange or red. Even that becomes a bit of confusion. But that being aside from the point, let's move into it. So, first and foremost, you have Orlan's Gate. Orlan's Gate, if you look real closely, at just the right time, you will find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chevrons, or 7 chevron types. The entire configuration, of course, you have a whole mixing of copper wire and whatever that silverish wire is, maybe nickel, maybe iron, who knows? But nonetheless, you have a mingling of multiple different things. But there are 7 points within this gate that extrude into the air or into what would be referred to as the event horizon. And so I see these as chevrons or proto-chevrons or types of chevrons. Nonetheless, next what you have is the Asuran. Asuran. I never know how to reference that. The Pegasus form replicators. If you slow this down, you will see this stargate, which was sent by the Pegasus replicators, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chevrons, not 9. So this is a completely distinct, different type of gate. Moving on. Okay, so that's the movie. I'll skip past that for a very specific reason. So an interesting feature here in the episode Prisoners, the entire chevron does not actually light up. It's only half of the chevron. Only half, which is intriguing in and of itself. Of course, you also have the Tolan Gate, which actually I think I forgot to include that in this. But nonetheless, the Tolan Gate being rather skinny. Nonetheless, moving on, we have the Gamekeeper, which this particular gate has red lights both sides. Show and tell. There are absolutely no lights lit up here. The fact of no lights being lit up is a very intriguing concept because in the movie, no lights were lit up. So, we actually have a gate here in series in the episode Show and Tell that doesn't have any lights lighting up. Next, we have another Stargate, which has lights on both sides. This is episode 2001. Next, okay, yeah, another showing of that one. So this is another intriguing scene. This is from 48 hours. So in 48 hours, you have what seems like lights only on one side. Yet when the Alkesh comes in, from the backside, you can clearly see that they're there. Now, what this implies is a serious question about the episode upgrades. In the episode upgrades, you can kind of see the lights on the back end. So what you have here is either another gate where you can see the lights on both sides, or what you have here is the backside of the chevron being glass where you can see the light shining through. I'll, I'll go with simply the idea that you have lights on both sides of the gate. So again, you have lights on both sides of the gate. Now, actually, go back. Intriguingly enough, according to this scene in Upgrades, these chevrons are not actually all the way through. So, unless we actually want to go with the idea of yet another type of stargate with lights on both sides, another type of stargate being half of it the lights, half of it glass, or some other kind of see-through material. I'm going to go with this being kind of an error. I don't know what else to do. Nonetheless, so here we have the episode Beachhead. We have all the pieces for the Proto-supergate, which can clearly make it through the Stargate. And what we have here is a Teltok. A Teltok being able to be able to fit in here, right? The next one, what we see very clearly, very plainly, is we have a supergate where one single piece dwarfs an Alkesh. So we have multiple different types of gates going on here. All right. So we have Orlan's gate, the Pegasus replicator gate, being 8 chevrons, the Tolan gate, of course. And before I go to the Milky Way galaxies, you have the Pegasus gate, the Destiny gate, the Proto-supergate, the actual supergate. Now going to the Milky Way gates. Gates, plural. You have one with no lights, which was seen in Show and Tell. You have the regular one with lights only on one side. You have the one in Prisoners, where only half of the chevron is lit up. And then you have another type of Milky Way gate with gates with lights on both sides that light up. Now, technically speaking, I could actually break this down a lot further, but the fact of the matter is anything that happens on camera, anything that happens in series, that's canon as far as I'm concerned. We have, in total, 11 different types of gates. And this isn't to speak anything about all the different variations, because you find some gates that are actually capable of linking to the gate before they actually make contact. Some gates, after they've been activated, all the lights turn off. Some gates, once activated, all the lights turn on. Some gates, the variation goes quite wild here. But I will stick with just this. You have Orlan's gate, Pegasus replicator, 8 chevron gate, the Tolan gate. You have 4 different types of Milky Way gates: Pegasus gate, Destiny gate, the Proto-supergate, and finally the actual supergate itself. So, all in all, 11 different types of gates are seen throughout the Stargate series, the Stargate franchise. 11.